Hi guys, Rhonda without an H here with you again. Today I am showing you this is a simple gift giving idea. In my Facebook group we are, for the month of July and August with summer, and instead of doing swaps and different things that way, we're just sharing fun ideas to make as small, simple gifts, either for Christmas. I know a lot of people do the Christmas in July, and I have done. I'm not doing that now, but I am taking the opportunity to make some fun things. And this is number 2. Number 1, I didn't video. I'm sorry. I don't know how many I will video. But basically, I have taken 2 brown paper bags, and these measure 10 3/4 inches long by 5 inches wide. And what I did the other day, I went to the dollar store, and this is literally where everything that you buy, whether it's in a package or a single, it does cost just $1. And I bought a package of brown paper bags. I got 40 for $1. Okay? And then I also, let's just open this up, take that off. I got these sweet little notepads. They were stuck together, but as you'll see, they do have a cardboard backing between each one, and it's a pretty nice little pad. I got 5 of them for $1. And then I picked up these little hair ties. Oh gosh, there had to have been like 50, 60, I don't know how many. Let's see. A lot. Let me just, really a lot. For $1, okay? So my idea was to do something that you could make a bunch of that would be inexpensive and fun to make. So this is what I have created. You saw the tie on here. I didn't stitch anything to. You certainly could, but I took ribbons. This is sari ribbon, a piece left over from another project. I've taken some printables that I've had. This is washi tape that I have covered the edges. So let's just show you what I've done on this one. I've created a pocket here, and I've printed out, I found online, just, typed in free printable calendars, and I just found one, and then I reduced it on my copy machine so that it would fit here. So that's kind of a fun thing. And you have a pocket here, so it could be, you can include tags. You could, if you're giving it as a gift, you could put a little bit of money, you could put a gift card in there. Just a fun little notepad. And then of course, you tie it and it's very pretty. All right, moving on to the next one. And some of these I'm just going to slide off. This is ripped fabric. I have just ripped, it's about 3/4 of an inch wide, and I just ripped, let's see how long this is. I can tell you that. Perhaps, let me measure. This is about 30 inches long on this. And I also did a fabric flower. I don't have a video on this, but there are lots of videos on flowers and things, and I just found one, and I've done these periodically. It's just kind of a fun little thing. There again, some printables, and some more. This one I did a little pocket, a glassine pocket, and put a little tag in it. But this, in giving it, you know, you can decide what you want to do. Another calendar here. And your little notepad. Okay? Here is the next one. This I made using the same paper bags, but I used some fabric and stitched. So I decorated it with one paper bag and did my stitching and my folding, and then I put the two together. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a minute. So we've got a little pocket here. Put just a little bit of embellishment here. And I took two of those ties that I showed you, and they just are so sweet. So I took the metal part that you'll find on those hair ties, and I just tied them together. I put a little bit of fabric, and this is a little bit of yarn to go with it, and it works out really nice. Here's another one. This one I stitched around the edges with fabric to give my color and design. This is the same hair tie idea as this previous one, and I've used some stamps and images, created another little flower here, and you have a pocket here that you can put things in. Just really fun. These worked up really fast, and they're just so cute. They're so cute, you guys. And then this one, and this is just as simple as can be, but I still think it's adorable. I just did a dictionary, an old dictionary, page or two, created a pocket, glued and stitched, and there you have that. And it's just really pretty with the bow there. Okay, so let me just, I'm not going to give you like details instructions, but I am going to just explain a little bit of what I did. So I measured, and I guess I could, maybe I should write these down for you. Okay. So for this particular project, these, I told you the size of the bags, and I bought them in a package of 40 in the dollar store. They measure 10 3/4 inches by 5 inches wide. The little notebooks that I bought at the dollar store, again, they measure 5 inches by 3.5. And the reason that this works is that these are just a smidgen over 5 inches wide, and these are a smidgen under 5 inches wide, and so you can see it just fits. Now you could do it with a different size. This is just what I did. And then to get the different folds, and as you can see by what I showed you, there are different ways that I folded. I wanted to try some different things. But to get my first fold, I marked it at 3 3/4 inches from whichever side was going to be my edge. I wanted it to open like a book. So my flap or my extra was going to be on the left-hand side. So that's how I did mine. So I measured 3 3/4 inches, and I took so I would just, I'm doing this for you, showing you 3 3/4 inches, and I just kind of scored it and scored it again to create a fold, and then I would crease and make sure that that's creased really nicely. And then, if you'll notice here, I've got a little flap, a little bit of a spine. It's only 1/4 of an inch, but it allows it to lay down flat, okay? So that would be the next one that I'm scoring would be at 1/4 of an inch from my last line, from this line, okay? So now I will come in, I will measure 1/4 of an inch, and I just am going to repeat what I did. All right. And then I'm also going to fold on that next line. Okay, and I'm doing this pretty fast, but I just want to give you the basic idea. Okay, now for this part of the flap that folds over, I also want to measure 3 3/4 inches. I want it to be exactly the same as my base was. Okay? And then, of course, I come in and I use my bone folder. So I've got my creases in here nicely with the first bag. Now, let me write that down. 3 3/4 inches. Okay, so those are my basic fold lines, starting from right to left. And this would be from the edge (3 3/4 inches), and then from that line 1/4 of an inch, and then from that line 3 3/4 inches. Okay, now here are some things that you have to decide. You have to decide then what you want to do with how you want it to appear. For instance, this one, I have a fun little pocket. As you can see, my pocket doesn't go as far as this goes. So on this, I chose to trim off about 3/4 of an inch, if that makes sense to you, so that I have access to my pocket easier than if I put it clear in the tight. It just makes it a little bit easier to access this pocket, and it makes it so you can see some of this background paper as well. So that's a decision that you will need to make. Let's see, let me look at some of the others and see what different things. This was basically done the same way. And this I stitched on the machine, but that's basically the same way, with the exception of, I have decorated my front. There was one, I think it's this one. Okay. This is one where I did something a little bit different. And I put I butted them up differently, and when I did the two at this end, or you can do it this way too. I mean, there's just, you know, it's just preference. So when I did this one, I cut on these fold lines, these straight edges, I cut in about 1 inch. Okay? And then what I did was I folded those under. Everything under. Turned it all under 1 inch, which gave me then, this is a little bit lower than this other, than the top part, which was kind of a fun thing to do as well. Okay, so now back to how do you put it together? Well, I stitched all around mine. I cut paper that I put on. I better show you that too. I have just some brown paper, and I cut 5/8 of an inch. Okay. And then I went through the process of folding this in half. And I've also used a straight edge to where I scored it, and you can do it that way as well. And then what I did, after I had embellished, you know, but go ahead and embellish, and what I'm doing here, this is when you're sewing it together at the very end, whichever way you're doing it. And then I just did this like a binding, like a quilt binding. And I stitched right along here, and that held all of my raw edges, all of my parts that I didn't necessarily want to show. Now, on this particular one, as you can see, this is easier to see on this one. That's what I've done here. I have stitched this just like I would a binding, and then I even stitched over the I can't get through a video without doing a spine over my spine, and it's not perfect, but it's just fun things to do, guys. So okay, take a visit to your dollar store if you want. Make up some sweet little notebooks and plan on giving them as Christmas gifts, as party favors, as Happy Mail, RAKs. I just like you. You're my friend. Anything you want. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a fabulous day. Bye now.